Okay, let's start. May Allah protect Saudi Arabia and all Islamic countries from any dangers. Please, grade 2, follow our online class rules. No one write on the chat, close your camera and your microphone, and now let's start. Do you remember the title of our lesson? It's about the moon and stars. The moon and stars, okay? So today, inshallah, we'll observe the moon and its phases as its orbit Earth, okay? If you look at the sky at the night, can you see what? Yes, Wilbert, wait, one by one. I choose. Who can answer? Okay, let's start from Malik. Yes, Malik. Still it's open. Yes, Malik. Malik. Malik is not here. Okay. Jasir. Jasir, tell me, honey, what can you see in the night sky?
Moon.
You can see. Yes, you can. Okay, moon. You can see the moon and the stars. Excellent, honey. And what do you know about the moon? But first, tell me about the moon. The moon what?
Doesn't shine. The moon is a big piece of rock.
Yes. Yes, the moon. Jasir, your voice is not clear. And the moon what?
Doesn't shine.
Yes, it doesn't shine. Thanks a lot, Jasir. Super boy. So if we look at the moon, we can see the moon. It's a round shape or like a crescent, and it is maybe white sometimes. But what do stars look like? The stars, it's very small and can make its own light. If we look at the star, we can see the light from the star. And what about the moon? Yes, Jasir, wait, honey, thanks a lot. Jasir, thanks, honey. Okay, so what about the moon? The moon is made of rock.
Teacher, I am Jabir. I want to say.
Close your mic, Jabir. Is made of rock. So the moon is made of rock. The moon is made of rock. But how? If you look at the sky, the dark sky, we can see the light from the moon. But really, the moon, it doesn't shine or cannot shine. But which shine on the moon, it is the sun. It is the sun. So who can tell me what is the difference between the sun and the moon? Yes, Abdullah Muhammad Said, can you? Abdullah Muhammad Sayed. Jaber, close your camera or I will let you out. Yes, Abdullah Muhammad Sayed. Okay. Malik is not here. Yes, Sulaiman. Sulaiman.
Yes, teacher, did you call me?
Yes, I called you. Okay, wait, Sulaiman. Wait, honey, after Abdullah. Yes, Abdullah, tell me, Abdullah, what is the difference between the sun and the moon?
The sun can make its own light and the moon cannot.
Yes.
The sun makes the moon shine.
Yes, give the light to the moon, and now the moon, it's look as it's shine. Thanks a lot, Abdullah, super boy. Okay, so this is the difference.
We can see the moon in the daytime.
Yes, it's a fact. Yes, really. Thanks, honey. So if we look at the sky, we can see the sun. In the day, the sun can make its own light, but the moon cannot make its own light. Just it is made of rocks. It's made of rocks. But the sun helped the moon. How the sun helped the moon? The sun. No, honey, the picture is clear. Can you leave and join again? So the sun, how the moon, how we can see the moon in the sky, or why do we see the moon in the sky? Because the sunlight shines on the moon. Because what, Sulaiman? The sunlight shines on the moon. Yes, Sulaiman?
Shines in the moon. Yes.
Sulaiman. One more time. The sunlight.
Shine in the moon.
Yes, the sunlight shines on the moon, but in fact, the moon doesn't shine, but the sunlight shines in the moon.
Teacher, did you send my name, Yahya Muayyad?
And wait, Yahya, wait, hon. So the sunlight shines on the moon. So if we look at the sky, we can see the moon light. But if we are in the day, why we cannot see the moon best at the day? It's a fact, we can see the moon at some times in the day, but why we cannot see all the day the moon and we cannot see it best at the day? Yes, Sultan Bashir? Sultan Bashir?
Teacher,
Sultan Bashir. Sultan Bashir. Basil?
Teacher, you said my name, Yahya Muayyad?
No, Yahya. Basil?
But my name is up.
Basil? Turkey? Turkey?
Yes, teacher, I am Turkey Al-Harbi.
Yes, honey. Tell me, Turkey, why we cannot see the moon best at the day? Just we can see the light from the sun. Because the sunlight is... Yes, Turkey, the sunlight is... so bright. The sunlight is...
light.
yes, sunlight is so bright. So we cannot...
Us.
Turkey?
Yes.
So, because the sunlight is
Light.
so bright. It's so...
Bright.
yes, so we cannot... excellent, Turkey, thanks a lot. And we cannot see the moon best, and we cannot see other stars at the night. Just we can see the sun because the sunlight is so bright. Okay? Okay, Basil. Tell me, Basil, how can we see the moon? How? Basil. Answer me, Basil. Grade 2. It is the last warning for you. If anyone open the mic now, I will let you out, okay? Yes, Basil. Basil? What's wrong? Okay, Abdullah Abdulaziz. Abdullah Abdulaziz.
Teacher.
Yes, Abdullah. Tell me, honey, how can we see the moon? The moon, does the moon shine?
Teacher, you say Jabir.
Okay, Jabir, so I will let you out.
What, teacher?
Where are you, Jabir?
Teacher. Teacher. Teacher.
Okay, and no one will enter the meeting without permission from me, okay? And this for all of you. Who will open the mic now?
Teacher.
Yes, Abdullah Abdulaziz.
Yes.
Okay, wait. Yes, Abdullah. Okay, tell me, honey, how can we see the moon? How? The moon, does the moon can shine? Does the moon shine?
No.
No, of course, no, excellent. But who helped the moon to shine? Who shines on the moon? The sun or the earth?
Sun.
Yes, the sun shines on the moon. Thanks a lot, Abdullah. Okay. And we have two facts, okay? Number one, that the earth moves around the sun, and this causes the seasons. and the moon moves around the earth. Okay, can you tell me, Abdulaziz, about this fact? Abdulaziz Mansour? Abdulaziz Mansour? Yes. Number one, which moves around the sun, the earth or the moon? Yes, yes, Abdulaziz, your voice is not clear. Which moves around the sun?
Teacher.
Abdulaziz. Tell me, Abdulaziz, which moves around the sun? Okay. Quickly, Abdulaziz, please, which moves around the sun? Okay, Abdulaziz, I'm so sorry. Yes, Naif?
Teacher, I don't listen to the question.
Yes, Abdulaziz. Okay, listen to me again, Abdulaziz. Tell me, Abdulaziz. Number one, which moves around the sun? Abdulaziz, now my voice is clear with you? Abdulaziz? Okay, I'm so sorry, Abdulaziz. Please mute your microphone. You have a problem.
Yes.
Naif? So, Abdulaziz, please mute your microphone. You have a problem. Naif? Naif, are you here? Okay, Nasser? 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 Yes, Yahya Muayyad? Yahya?
Yes, teacher.
Yes, honey. So tell me, Yahya, which moves around the sun?
Around the earth.
The earth moves around the sun, and this causes the day and night or seasons.
What?
When the earth moves around the sun, this causes day and night or season happen?
Day and night.
Day and night when the earth moves around the sun.
No, season.
Seasons, yes, it's excellent. And number two, which moves around the earth?
And the moon.
Yes, super, Yahya. Thanks a lot, honey. Okay, so how do we see the moon? Because the sunlight shines on the moon, okay? And why do we see the moon in the sky? Because the sunlight shines on it. Now, the moon moves in orbit around the earth. This path is called orbit. So the moon moves in orbit around the earth. The moon... Mute your microphone now, Naif. So the moon moves in orbit around the earth, in orbit around the earth. And the moon can move or can make one orbit in how many days, Naif? Yes, Naif. In how many days the moon can make one orbit? Naif. Yes, Agab. Agab. Saud. Saud.
Yes,
Saud. The moon can make one orbit or can orbit the earth in how many days? 100
days.
100. 1 month, Saud. 1
month.
Yes, 1 month. It may be equal to 29 or 30 days. Okay, so 1 month. In 1
month.
In 1 month, the moon can make one orbit. The moon can make one
orbit.
Yes, thanks a lot, Saud. Okay, so in 1 month, the moon can make one orbit. So now, when I ask you, how do we see the moon in the sky? Because the sun shines on the moon. And why do we see the moon best at the night? Because in the night, the moon, also the sun shines on the moon, and there is no sunlight, okay? Today, let's talk about something. Look well at this picture. I will tell you why does the moon seem to change shape every day. Why does the moon seem to change shape every day? It's really the moon change their shape. It's really the moon. Someday we can see, maybe in Sunday, the moon like this shape. And Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then on Friday, now we can see all the moon. How we can see some of the moon and others is disappear. Why? Disappear. Why? Why does the moon seem to change shape? Is it correct? Of course, no. But each moon shape we see is called phase. It's called phase. So this is a phase, and this is the moon phase, and this is the moon phase, and this is other phase. So each moon shape we see is called a phase. Each moon shape we see is called a phase. Each moon shape we see is called a phase. Okay. What about the moon phases? Look well. This is the moon phases. So the moon have different phases. What does the moon seem to change shape? From Earth, the moon look as if it is changing shape, but really the moon doesn't change shape. But what happened? As the moon moves during the 1 month around the Earth, now on a different nights we see different amount of sunlight shines on the moon. So the moon don't shape, but different amount of the light from the sunlight, different amount of light from the sunlight shining on the moon. Okay, but I will explain to you more by this video. Okay, listen.
Moon is right here. It's just that we can't see it.
So number 1, grade 2, the moon moves around in the earth, orbit the earth in 1 month, okay? And actually the earth shining on the moon and the earth have amount of the light. So how the earth affect on the moon shape, we will see.
Its own light. So when the moon is exactly in the middle of the earth and the sun, it becomes nearly invisible in the night sky, as the side facing the earth does not get the sunlight. This invisible phase of the moon is called the new moon.
Okay, so if we cannot see the new moon in the if the month start in the beginning of our month, if we cannot see the new moon, so now because the moon is between the earth and the sun, so we cannot see the yes.
As the moon continues
Oh my God.
in the wax of 2 months,
What's wrong?
of its fire, which makes the moon appear in a crescent shape in the phase called the waxing crescent. And as the moon continues its orbital journey, sun's reflection keeps on increasing on the moon's surface. And in about a week,
Yes, yeah.
My brother, he will bring for me iPhone.
Okay. So grade 2, this is the moon phases. The moon phases. Okay. The moon start with the new moon, and we cannot see the new moon because the earth here now the moon between the earth and the sun, so we cannot see the light from the sun shines on the moon. Okay. Now we start to see part from the moon and waxing crescent. Then first quarter, waxing gibbous, full moon, waning gibbous, and last quarter, and then waning crescent, and the new moon again, and so on. It's repeated every month. Okay, grade 2. So this is about the moon phases, how we can see different shapes of the moon, but really it's not the moon doesn't change its shape or doesn't change shape, but the moon affects by the light which come from the sun. The moon changes by the light which come from the earth. So why do you think only this portion of the moon is visible? Look, honey, why we can see this, only this visible, and now only this, and sometimes we can see full moon and other times we cannot see the moons because the sun is shining on the part of the moon. So the sun is shining on the part of the moon and the other part is turned away from the sun. So like the earth, when the earth moving around the sun, it is the same. Now the moon moves around the earth, okay? Now the moon moves around the earth. The sun shining on the part of the moon, the sun shining on the part of the moon, but the other part is turned away from the sun, but the other part is turned away from the sun, so it is dark. So if we look at the moon, we can see the moon have different shape, but it's not correct, okay? The moon don't shape its shape, but it is the same shape and it's made of rock, okay? And each shape, each moon shape we see it is called moon phase. It's called a phase or it's called moon phase, honey, okay? So each shape is called moon phase. So the moon have different phases now, but the moon affected by the sunlight. The moon affected by the sunlight. Look well again here. This the moon and the sunlight. How look how the moon moves around the sun or orbit. Sorry, the earth orbit the earth now. Okay. When the moon, look, honey. Yes, when the moon between the earth and the sun, so we cannot see the light from the earth, so we will see the moon without no light, okay? But now the moon start to appear, yes, so now it's a full moon, okay, honey? So the moon have different shapes, or sorry, the moon have phases. The moon have phases. When the moon is between the earth and the sun, so we cannot see the moon. We cannot see the sunlight shining on the moon, so it's look as if there is no moon at all, but the moon is in the sky really, but we cannot see it because no light shining on it from the sun. And the first quarter, this phase is called first quarter. In the first quarter, it's after a week. After a week, the moon looks like this. And it's called the first quarter moon. And the moon has completed 1/4 of its orbit around the sun. Now the moon complete 1/4, okay? So 1 week, 1/4, 1 week, 1/4. Now the moon moves to a new place by the next week and we can see of all the moon side, okay? And this phase is called a full moon. We can see a full moon here. And by the 3rd week, the moon is their quarters is, and 3/4 of its way around the earth. And this phase called last quarter of the moon. So what are the phases of the moon? New moon, first quarter, full moon, and last quarter. So 4 phases of the moon. The new moon, first quarter, full moon, and last quarter. Okay, honey? So again, tell me. Okay, the stars, yes. Who will answer? Yes, Salim? Salim?
Yes.
So, Salim, each moon shape is called moon?
Yes.
It's called a phase. Each moon shape is called phase. It's called yes, phase. Yes, it's called phase. It's called
phase.
yes, it's called phase. Moon phases. Thanks a lot, Salim. Yes, Muhammad Fahad. Muhammad Fahad. Muhammad?
teacher.
So, honey, tell me, honey, the moon have different shapes or the same shapes?
Different shape.
Sure, different shapes or different amount of light from the sun, effect of the moon.
Yes.
Which one? Different shapes or different amount from the light, from the sunlight change on it, shining on it.
Amount.
Yes, different amount of the light, different amount of the light changing on the moon. Thanks a lot, Muhammad. Super boy. Yes, Abdulaziz Assam. Naif Nazir. Yes, Abdulaziz. So, Abdulaziz, the moon. Naif, mute your microphone or I will let you out. Yes, Abdulaziz Assam. Tell me, Abdulaziz, the moon have different shapes?
Yes.
Really? It has different shapes or different amount of sunlight?
Amount.
Yeah. Different amount of sunlight shines on the moon. Yes, Yahya Hussein? Why we see the moon or why does the moon seem to change shape?
Yes.
Yes, Abdulaziz. Yahya, sorry. Yahya, if the sun shining on the part of the moon, we can see this part, yes?
Yes.
And other part is dark. Other part is?
Dark.
Yes, and the other part is dark. Thanks, Yahya, super boy. Yes, Muhammad Riyad? Muhammad Riyad? Muhammad Riyad? Marzouk? Marzouk? Yes, Marzouk. Okay, look well, honey.
What?
Look well. Okay, look. Okay. Now, Marzouk. The moon phase, okay? Okay, look here, Marzouk. This side of the moon, the sun shines on it or no?
What?
This side, this part of the moon, the sun shines on it or no? It is dark, so it is dark, so the sun shines on this part or no?
No.
No, but here, this part, the sun shining on it. On this bar, the sun shining on it. The sun shining on it. Shining on it. Yes. Yes. Thanks a lot, Marzu. Yes, Muhammad Hilal. Muhammad Hilal.
How many times?
Abdullah Muhammad Qasim. Yes, Abdullah Muhammad Qasim. Okay, Abdullah, look here, honey. This is what? This is the
Sun.
Yes, and this is the Earth, and this is the moon, okay? Now, if the moon between the sun and the earth, can we see the moon now? If we look at the sky, we can see the moon?
No.
No, of course, no. Excellent. Thanks a lot, honey. Thanks, Abdulaziz. Thanks, Abdullah, sorry. Okay. Yes, Yusuf? Yusuf?
The one.
Omar and Fifi?
Teacher.
The last warning, all of you mute your microphone. Yusuf?
Yes, teacher. Me Omar Al-Fayfi.
Tell you mute your microphone. Yes, Yusuf? Okay, so Omar and Fifi, yes. Look,
Yes, teacher.
okay. Look here, Omar. Now, the sun, the moon between the earth and the sun. So we cannot see that. Moon. We cannot see that.
The moon.
Yes. But if the moon is here, this part is the sun shines on it.
Yes, the sun
Yes.
shine on
And the other part will be
dark.
dark. So we can see the moon phases. We can see the moon.
Faces.
Yes, because the sun, because some of the sunlight shines on the moon. Some of the sunlight shines on the
Moon.
yes, of the moon. Okay, thanks a lot, Omar, and thanks for all of you. So today we talk about the moon phases. Each shape of the moon is called phase. Each shape of the moon is called phase. And why we can see the moon phases? Because the sunlight, the sun shining on the part of the moon, and the other part is so dark. The sun is shining on the part of the moon, and the other part is so dark. Okay, thanks a lot, honey. Now please leave the meeting.
Bye.